seatbelts on. This could be the big one. Oh, no, on the left, the ceiling just collapsed back there. And that truck is coming right at us. Look out, no! Well, at least you can see the second floor now. Hang on! Oh, that one hurt. Just hang on, everybody. Whoa! Oh, man, I shouldn't have shoved that huge soda directly for the door. That was a mistake. Oh. And I can't believe some of you are taking pictures at a time like this. That's very inappropriate. Oh! Oh, don't break yourselves! That would hurt too. Oh, no, on the left, the train effect went on. And the train's got nowhere to go. No! Ow. All right, I think it's over, Anu. Maybe not, because what would an earthquake be without the plumbing going kablooey? Remember, if you're sitting on the outside, congratulations! You survived your own disaster film. That was quite the big one. That was the mechanical effect of recreating an 8.3 earthquake on the Richter scale. And our friends at Fox TV used that same effect for that same episode of Bones. Take a look.
What's going on?
Let's get out of here! The water main just broke!
Before the earthquake, we were driving down Denver Street, and I mentioned to you that Denver Street was featured in a lot of our classic movie westerns. Well, keep in mind, back in the golden age of Hollywood, the western was the #1 genre movie of the time, kind of like comic book movies are now. Every studio made a lot of westerns. That means every studio had to have a lot of western sets. Well, we have a couple of western sets here in our back lot. Right now, we're going to drive up one of them. We're looking at what we call 6 Points, Texas, and over the years, we have filmed literally hundreds of TV and movie westerns right here on these sets, and some of the biggest cowboy stars of Hollywood history have had it out right here on the streets of 6 Points. One of those stars, believe it or not, was our very own Jimmy Fallon.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal lot.
I hear this is where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot you.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town while the getting's good?
All right. Well, I'll see you again, Fallon.
Oh, you can count on me, fella. Now get.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
We just have to talk it out, that's all.
And from 6 Points, Texas, we're going to travel south of the border through an area in the back lot that we call Old Mexico. And kids, you may recognize Old Mexico if you saw the hit film, Hop.
You're about to be crowned the Easter Bunny.
Look, Dad, I want to drum in a band. I want to see the world.
Yippee, the Easter Bunny seized every country in one night.
Oh, really, Dad? What about China?
Except Old Mexico doubled as China for that film.
All right, so we haven't cracked China
You
yet.
also saw Old Mexico recently on NBC's Community and Showtime Shameless. Now, earlier, guys, I said we're having a beautiful day here in Southern California. Let's celebrate by going to the beach. We have our own beach here at Universal. You may have heard of it. It's kind of famous. It's called Amity Island. And if you heard of Amity, you heard about the shark problem that we had here, but you only see one shark on the tour today. Turn your cameras over on the right-hand side of the train. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's the shark that we caught. There he is, hanging up. The terror is finally over. If you're still looking to the right, you'll see a police boat out there in the waters of Amity. Nothing to worry about. We have divers looking for other sharks all the time, but we haven't seen any in a very long while. And until today, because that looks like a big old shark fin out there. Do you guys see it? All right. Now the question is, does the diver know? Can I warn him in time? Diver guy! There is a shark in the water with you, pal. Swim for the boat, dude. Can he hear me? Dude, swim for the boat! Oh, folks. I'm sorry you had to witness this. He had a lot of guts for being out there. Ew, and there they are. That's gross. Okay. Nobody panic. And I can see that none of you are. I have an idea. How about we pull up behind these explosive barrels on the pier? We'll be safe there, right? Keep your eyes open. The shark is still out there somewhere. Okay, grab the bait out the barrel. We can track him. We get up on that gas pump came loose. Spray gas on the dock. Oh, somehow that gas got ignited and now we have a fire. I told you kids, no smoking on the tour. And guys, I gotta be honest with you, sharks are attracted to fire. And don't say I didn't warn you. Sometimes that pesky gray white is a little too quick for people, so if you want another picture, keep your camera to the right. And you can grab a shot of the only shark on the West Coast that can shoot the backstreet. There in the waters. That shark worked a lot better than the mechanical shark worked in the movie Jaws. When they brought that animatronic shark out to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and they put him in the water for the very first time, he immediately sank to the bottom, which prompted the production crew to nickname the troubled movie Flaws. Think about it, you guys will get it. I'm director Steven Spielberg here on today's tour with some of the cast from Jaws to tell you a little bit more about that mechanical menace.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited. The shark worked well enough. For a while there, it had the biggest hit of all time. So I really owe the shark a lot.
There's a picture of the happy couple. That's director Steven Spielberg with the mechanical shark that he named Bruce. He named the shark after his lawyer. True story. If you take a look to the right-hand side of the tram on the hill, you'll see a house that we call the Chicken Ranch that pops up on TV once in a while. In fact, you may have seen the Chicken Ranch recently on an episode of CBS's The Mentalist, and hopefully you'll see the Chicken Ranch as the Munsters house in a new pilot that's going to be on NBC. It's called Mockingbird Lane. It's going to be a recreation of the Munsters for the 21st century, and I hear Eddie Izzard has been cast as Grandpa Munster. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, speaking of TV here on the back lot, is that ABC used to film Desperate Housewives here at Universal Studios, but all the fans of Desperate Housewives know the show is no longer on. In fact, we're on Wisteria Lane right now, and if you're a fan of the Desperate Housewives, you'll notice that Wisteria Lane looks a little different. It's starting to be changed into something else. I think it's going to be part of Mockingbird Lane for that new pilot I told you about. Now, let's do this. If you're a Desperate Housewives fan, let's take one last walk down memory lane here on Wisteria Lane with the ladies from ABC's Desperate Housewives.
The next morning, Edie Britt decided to announce her return to Wisteria Lane.
Okay, you're not gonna believe this, but she's back.
Edie, is that really you?
You know someone else my age with a body like this? Well, what happened to your tenant? He came into some money and decided to move. We thought, what the heck? Let's move back.
There's a deer.
We? Oh, you don't know. I have a husband now.
Really? Who's?
I notice that deer always trump whatever that we're going to show you on the tour. So everybody, right there on the left, there's a deer. Yeah. Yes, the deer's real. Who asked if it's real? Come on, seriously? Oh, there's another one? Oh, there's another one. Aww. How cute. Yeah. Let's see Disneyland do that. They won't do that. All right, since we're still here on Wisteria Lane, let me play you another clip featuring the ladies from Desperate Housewives and all of the houses that they used to live right here on Wisteria Lane. Or look at the deer, it's okay.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor.
You thought, what the heck? Let's move back.
ladies of Desperate Housewives on 8 fantastic seasons that they spent filming their hit TV show here on our back lot. We're going to miss them. Now, you may have noticed Wisteria Lane is a pretty normal-looking set piece that's inhabited by deer here on the back lot, but sometimes our set pieces need to get extraordinary looking, like they did in Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, starring funny man Jim Carrey. We actually built Whoville right here on our back lot for that film. And I have Ron Howard, who directed The Grinch, to tell you guys what a challenge it was to bring Whoville to life right here at Universal Studios.
It's challenging because the logistics were challenging. We had 11 stages occupied at one time on the Universal lot. One of them was just for putting Who's into their makeup every day. And so I felt like it was one of those extravaganzas from the 30s or 40s. Sets that were inspired by Dr. Seuss, brought to life, made functional enough that, you know, we could shoot on them, actors could climb on them, people could do flips off them. It makes me so proud that it's become this kind of evergreen, and that every Christmas it rolls around and it means something to a lot of kids.
And some of those sets from Whoville still stand right here on our back lot today. If you want to see them, all you have to do is take a look over on the left-hand side of the tram. Don't worry, you don't have to take pictures through the trees and the shrubs. We're going to take a turn ahead, get you guys up close to these sets. We built these sets of Whoville out of, believe it or not, wood and styrofoam. In fact, we used over 2 million linear feet of styrofoam for all the sets in The Grinch. We even used enough mix on the film to cover 9 football fields. And what would Christmas be without candy canes? We used over 1,939 of them. Talk about a sugar rush, right? But the Who's don't only have to worry about The Grinch, because here on the Universal Studios back lot, they have a lot of weird neighbors. And I think you could call one of these dudes a real psycho. Keep your cameras pointed to the right-hand side of the tram. Right around the bend, you'll get a fantastic shot of the Bates Motel. And up on the hill, you'll see the infamous Psycho house, mentioned in Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller Psycho. You'll also get a picture of Norman Bates. Wow, look at this. We never get to see this dude. Norman, buddy, what's up, dude? That's rude. Okay. Oh, wait, today's Saturday, right? I know he likes to clean up the motel on Saturdays, and that's totally not the cleanup job I was talking about. Yikes. Kids, he's just helping somebody check out early, that's all. This is really awkward. Hey, Mr. Bates, we're a tour. We just got here. We didn't see what you did. We're going to go, okay? You have a great day. He's totally not buying it. We got to go. Dude, you got to switch to the decaf. And Philip, you got to hit the gas. We got to get out of here. Always keep those cameras out. You never know what you'll accidentally witness here on the back lot. And just for fun, car number 4, yeah, you guys get the close-up. There you go. Nice screen back there, sir. You should be proud. Coming up next, we're going to take you inside one of the largest sets ever constructed for a motion picture. We're going to show you the crash site featured in Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. When we get inside the set, we'll stop for a few moments, so please remain seated until you come to a complete stop. And trust me, you won't believe what we're about to see. That Tom Cruise got out from the aliens in the film. And yes, on the left-hand side of the tram, that is a real Boeing 747 that Paramount and DreamWorks Pictures destroyed for the making of this scene of Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Got them closed? Robbie, get in. Get in.
This is one of the the largest physical sets ever constructed for a motion picture, but Steven Spielberg also used 500 special effect shots in the making of War of the Worlds, and that's more effect shots than he's ever used in any of his previous movies. Now, you may notice the houses here that are destroyed, they're facades. That's why we use facades sometimes. We can destroy the houses. But if you take a look to the left-hand side of the tram on the hill, you'll see houses up there behind the plane. Those houses are real. Those are our neighbors, and that's their view. Roll that one around in your head for a little bit. Now, guys, we're getting ready to wrap up the tour and get you back to Tram Plaza, but before we do, there's a couple more things that we want to show you here on the back lot today. If you take a look to the right-hand side of the tram, we're passing by this log cabin. The cabin looks familiar to a lot of people because it's popped up in a lot of productions over the years. You may recognize the cabin as Coach's cabin from the TV show Coach, starring Craig T. Nelson. The cabin popped up in season 3 of Desperate Housewives. We blew the cabin up at the end of the movie Shooter, starring Mark Wahlberg, but the cabin is most fondly remembered from the 1980s comedy The Great Outdoors, starring the late, great John Candy. There's the cabin right there. You don't go outside at night. If you look beyond the cabin on the right-hand side of the train, you'll see that big green wall out on the back lot. We call that area Falls Lake. That was built back in the mid-1980s for the third sequel of the Jaws films, Jaws the Revenge. That's the scene that they shot out there. Now, I'll show you guys how Falls Lake works. This is what the lake looks like when it's filled with water. See how the water's touching the skyline? The skyline is the big green backdrop that you see on the right-hand side of the tram. Yes, we can paint it blue if we need to. And speaking of paint, take a look at this scene again. You see all the clouds in the background there? They're not real. They're painted on the wall. Pretty simple. You saw Falls Lake on the big screen last summer if you checked out Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean 4 on Stranger Times with Johnny Depp. You may have seen Falls Lake on the big screen last February in Wanderlust with Jennifer Aniston and Paul Rudd. And you can see Falls Lake on the big screen right now if you check out Universal Studios Battleship with Liam Neeson and Rihanna. Now, we do have one more set visit here on the back lot before we get you back to Tram Plaza. This last set was featured in the film The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. Now, there's a little bit of controversy that surrounds the set. There's an urban legend that's been floating around Hollywood for years that says the set of The Mummy that we're going to visit now on the back lot is haunted by a mummy's curse. But guys, if that was true, we wouldn't take you inside. However, last Thursday, we had a little bit of an incident up here. Academy Award-winning actress Whoopi Goldberg, you guys know her from The View probably nowadays. She was up here filming a vignette for her TV show. She went to lunch. She was supposed to come back at 3 o'clock, and nobody's seen her since. Now, guys, I don't think that the set ate her. I don't think that happened. Keep in mind, we're talking about urban legends. I think Whoopi Goldberg went home. She didn't tell anybody she was going home. Hollywood types do that. So sit back and relax. We're going to be fine. In fact, the first thing we'll see inside the tomb is going to be absolutely nothing. Why the lights out here? Oh, wait, I see something on the right. Scarab beetles, and that's not part of the tour. Okay, guys, I can't explain those scarab beetles, but I think I know why it's dark in the set. We lost power, and believe it or not, that does happen from time to time. I also can't explain that scary music either. But you know when the scary music starts up in movies, bad things happen, right? Well, I would say this is a bad thing happening right here. And I'm starting to think that Whoopi Goldberg didn't go home early after all. That wasn't me. Alright, I don't know about you, but that sounded like an ancient Egyptian curse to me. You know what? I think that urban legend about the set being haunted turned out to be true. We just got out the hallway. It's a dead end ahead. We can't get out of here, guys, and other than the lights. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. Wait. You hear that? Are those scarab beetles coming toward the tram? I hope not, because they eat flesh. Wait, Whoopi! Whoopi Goldberg, there you are! Whoopi, are you okay?
This is not good.
Ew, Whoopi, you're not okay. And guys, guess what? Neither are you! Ew, Beetlejuice, gross. Gross, but so refreshing on a day like today. Would you agree, guys? Relax, you're fine. You can see I'm okay, but wait a minute. I have to wear more sunscreen when I go outside. Nope, I'm fine too. Congratulations, you just survived the curse of the mummy's tomb. And something tells me, I don't know what it is, but something tells tells me if you were sitting in a blue seat, you got a little wet. There you go, as advertised. That's it for the studio tour. We're going to get you five folks back up the Tram Plaza. But before we get there, I'm going to turn it one final time over to my co-host, Jimmy Fallon. He has a special musical goodbye just for you.
Well, I can't believe it. We've made it to the end of our tour, you guys. How about...
Sean!
And
Philip!
weren't they the best?
Yeah.
Hey, before we go, I'd like to sing you a little song I made up. I was just 5 years old. It's called Tramtastic. We had a real good time together. Now the ride is done. We saw some crazy cool stuff, and we had a lot of fun. This tram has made its final stop. But don't be sad and blue, 'cause there's still one more thing that I'd like to say to you. Have a tramtastic day. Have a tramtastic night. Watch your step as you exit the tram, and everything will be alright. Go! Have a tramtastic day. Have a tramtastic night. Just watch your step as you exit the tram, and everything will be alright. Just the dads now, and everything will be alright. Just the moms, and everything will be alright. Just yours. Okay, have a tram.
Guys, don't forget that the park is open until 9 o'clock tonight, so you have a ton of time to do what you have not done yet. Also, do me a favor. Hopefully you still have your 3D glasses with you guys. If you do, when we get up to Tram Unload, take your 3D glasses with you off the vehicle. You can throw them in the little blue boxes you'll see at Unload. We'd appreciate that. And, of course, if you're from Southern California and you bought your ticket for the park today, you can transform that ticket into an annual pass up at the Hollywood Ticket Outlet across from the Blues Brothers stage. So, once again, thank you for joining us out for 100 years of movies and memories here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of L.A. As always, we'll see you guys in the movies. Right, Jimmy? He keeps going and going and going.
Just watch your step.
And pretty soon it's going to be time for you guys to be going. Pretty soon. Not yet. Hold on. Alright guys, here's the deal. If we start popping your gates on the tram and this tram next to us is still there, do me a favor, go toward the back of the vehicle. That's how you get back to Tram Plaza, okay?